Power, speed, strength, and endurance. That's what will be tested at events across the country as Olympic coaches search for athletes to compete in a sport they may not have previously considered. Here to tell us more is three-time Olympic gold medalist in hockey, Jennifer Botterill, and 2016 Olympic athletes, hurdler Sarah Wells, and beach volleyball player Jamie Broder. Thank you all for coming in. So this is brand new, one-of-a-kind opportunity. Tell us about what they're looking for and who can go.
Well, we're all really excited about it because it's such a new platform, and the idea is to identify athletes that have the potential to make it to the Olympic level in a variety of different sports. So they have these new combines, and they're going to try to, again, find these athletes that can make it and represent Canada.
I mean, you know how tough it is to get to the point where, and certainly you know with volleyball and all kinds of different things, that an athlete could have this kind of help. What do you think it means?
Well, it's so huge for athletes. You know, we've been fortunate enough to be with RBC in the program and getting funding, but to get funding at a younger age and help them develop through a sport is so crucial. And also to be able to be identified for a sport they may not have thought of before. So it's about finding those hidden gems and kind of seeking out that talent and seeing where we can help them grow.
And Sarah, did you always know, I mean, from a young age, that certain discipline, because this is, I mean, it's opening it up to other disciplines that kids can have.
Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. Like children that have maybe not considered any sports or maybe a specific sport are going to have the opportunity to get out there and show us, you know, what their talents are, and hopefully the NSOs are going to be able to identify that, you know, they'll be able to become Olympians one day. For me, I certainly didn't always know. I was very fortunate to have people in my support network tell me and lead me along the way. Being an RBC Olympian, I have had, you know, their support, and now fortunately these young athletes will have RBC behind them, and hopefully we'll find some Olympians.
You're going to show us a couple of things that can be done in terms of what they're looking for, but it's obviously athleticism. In a lot of kids are going to come in and they're already an athlete in maybe a given sport. But what kinds of sports might they have an opportunity in where coaches will be looking?
Well, and they have these 4 different combines across the country. So there's in Vancouver, in Toronto, Montreal, and Halifax. And they're inviting up to 100 athletes in each location. And there will be, as Sarah mentioned, coaches and administrators from national sport organizations, cycling and rowing and bobsled and track, just to name a few, that will be there watching these athletes and assessing and saying, okay, well, you've got great endurance or great speed, and sort of giving them direction on where they, again, might be best suited and best fit. And there are a number of examples of Olympic athletes that have had great success, but that started in different sports and then went on and switched. I mean, Heather Moyes was a track athlete initially, went on two-time bobsled, you know. Cindy Clausen was an example. She played hockey with me in Winnipeg, made the switch to speed skating, and is one of Canada's most successful Olympic athletes.
But each different sport requires, you know, different kinds of things in terms of strength and endurance, as we mentioned, in power. So, like, for the difference between, say, hurdles and you know, volleyball, there'd be a different body kind of thing. Like, tell us a little bit about that and what they might be looking for.
Yeah, exactly. So for volleyball, for example, we'd be using kind of that power and that strength, looking for that explosiveness. So something like the vertical test, which I think we'll show you a little later here. And then for hurdles, a little different.
And for her, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to get to those tests now. So show us one of the tests that you can give an example of for us today. Like if you can jump over there and show us what and tell us what you're going to do.
So this is a vertical test. This is something that we actually do all the time with our training. So this will measure the athletes' power and their explosiveness. So what we would do is measure their standing reach first off, and then we'd have them jump.
Oh, and so
we'd see how high they can touch. So this would measure then their kind of strength and their explosiveness through that jump.
And that really, and it tells something to the coaches that are watching.
And I was going to say, if anyone can jump as high as her at those combines, we are going to be very impressed.
But you made it look so easy.
Hey, so it's gotta look effortless, right?
No problem. Okay, so then the medicine ball.
Yes, then we have the medicine ball toss, which will test for power, and sports like cycling and bobsled will want to look for the explosive athletes. And so they'll just kind of squat down. I don't want to break anything on set, so I'll just and they'll do a heave, and we'll measure the length of their throw and how explosive they are, and hopefully find some big power athletes out of that.
Was that hard to not throw it as hard as you could?
I'm an all or nothing kind of athlete.
You had to hold back a little. Okay, so how do people get involved in this?
Right, so it's RBC Training Ground, and they go to the website, and we're saying there's some great incentives, obviously for them to get the funding on their path, but also there's 4 winners from each location that will get a trip to Rio to go and experience the Olympics and learn from that atmosphere. So
and this is what
some pretty fun opportunities.
Just, as we say goodbye, we have to hold up your silver and your the other gold
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So the three gold and silver.
The silver doesn't get as much love? Or
It doesn't get as much love. No, you can hold up the silver.
Okay, yes.
Isn't that great? So this is what
There.
the achievement that's possible for all of this,
And I
and
think we're-
opening it up to more athletes.
Absolutely. And I think there's a lot of potential here in Canada. That's what we're all excited about.
Wow, ladies, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for
really
having us.
appreciate it.
Thank you.